Okay, so you can see here that I've got my head traced, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the layer so I don't mess up my head and close the eyeball here. All right, and so what that does is that hides the head, so now I can start working on the next thing. Okay, now generally, actually, what I recommend to people is start at the bottom. So I actually should have traced my neck first, but since I didn't, that's okay. I want to actually show you a little bit of a trick here. All right, so I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call it neck. And here's another thing about like tracing the neck layer. And again, it's all understanding how this pen tool works, right? My neck, the part that's visible is right here to my shirt, and then coming out of my backpack here, and up here right behind my ear. So that's all that I have to worry about. I want all this part to just like have a visible area. So I'm going to just kind of click here, and just kind of trace that neck around. Okay, I'm going to grab that. Okay, let's see how that goes. Click there, and then kind of come up here, and it's got a little bit of a curve there. And then I'm just going to kind of wrap it around and close it. Okay, now I still have the fill color from my head from earlier, which I don't exactly want. So what I'm going to do is just click flip right there, and that way I can see the edge of the lines, right? By flipping the fill and the stroke, I can see the line. Like right here, I can see that I'm off. My neck kind of comes out. So I'm going to just take the white arrow by holding Control, click there, and I imagine it's Command on a Mac, but I'm not positive, but that's a pretty good guess, I bet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of pull this neck up, and I'm going to just kind of force this curve right into where I want it. All right. And I use, remember, I want to use Illustrator's power. I want to use these curves. Now, none of this matters because it's going to be covered by my head. Okay, so I flip the colors, and now when I turn my head and my neck on, you can see it's kind of got like the outline of my head pretty much down here. All right. Now, the problem is that my neck right now is above my head, right, in the stack here. And like, let's go ahead and make my neck just a slightly different color. And here's another really cool trick. The neck is underneath my head, so it gets a little more shadow, so it should be darker, right? So what I'm going to do is click on my neck, and I'm going to just, instead of trying to click around and find a color, I'm going to just take my K value and just bump it up a little bit. And see how that makes it darker? Okay. And so now when I click off, I see this like big weird nudge over my head. Okay. I just made the word nudge up. And what I want to do is I just want to take it from the above the head layer. I'm going to drop it below the head layer, which I have to unlock first. Right? And now look at that. Now you can see my head kind of coming over my neck there. And it sort of looks pretty good. That neck's a little, it was brightened up too much. See, I want it just slightly darker. Okay, just very, very little bit. I don't know if you can even see that in this recording, but it looks good to me right now. So that's the next step, is I'm going to trace my neck, which looks really freakish. Let me look at something really quick. I'm going to hide both of these. Yeah, see how my neck comes out? When I'm looking at it here, and it's like there's my chin, and then my neck comes out. I've got this funkitude there. So I'm actually going to fix that really quick. And just kind of click on Control there, and I'm going to just pull that neck back some. Okay. And I think that when I put my goatee in a little bit later, it's going to look cool. All right. So now what I'm going to do is lock those layers, and I'm going to hide those layers, right? So now they're not in the way, so I can see what's under there. And I click here at the head layer, and I'm going to make a new layer. And by the way, whenever you click the create new layer, it will create a layer above whatever layer you're on. So if I click right here and make a new layer, look, it makes it above neck but below head. All right. So usually you're going to want that layer to be right on the top, because we're going to try. We're going to try, as we're moving forward, to just go from the back, the thing that's farthest away from the camera, forward. All right. So next thing, actually, let's go ahead and tackle the ear. That's one of the harder elements. So let's tackle that in the next video.